metronomes? Okay.
Let's do the metronomes.
So, hey guys, welcome back to Moriah. That's how I started.
Hey guys, welcome back to Moriah.
I'm here with so-and-so. That's how I...
Welcome back to Moriah or behind Moriah?
Welcome back to Behind Moriah.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to... How does that go? Behind Moriah.
Behind Moriah.
Okay.
Behind Moriah.
It's interesting being on this side.
It is.
You're on that side.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little more pressure.
Dun, dun, dun.
The tables have turned.
Yes.
Literally. The tables
well, we're here today with Pastor Ridge. He is our worship pastor. You've been a man of many hats and many talents.
Many hats, yes.
So awesome. So we greatly appreciate you. So what we're going to do is give everybody kind of a sneak peek behind everything behind Moriah. So
yeah.
Here we go. So what's the first thing that brought you to Moriah?
Well, to go off mic, it's a story. So originally, I was going to church somewhere else, and the Pastor Jeff, they were kind of looking for somebody to help a bunch of high school kids kind of learn music, and that's my thing. Is like I've been playing music since I could remember, but I've been playing guitar since I was 11. So it's one of those. I've been doing it forever, and it was, I don't know, pretty easy fit to come in with a bunch of high school kids. And Drew and some of the other ones that aren't here anymore, but are still playing music, you know. But I came in and it was on Sunday nights. They would have their church. I'd come in leave my church, come here, do their little practice thing.
Okay.
And it just kind of developed into a thing where it's like, all right, this is what and then all of a sudden, they used to do Fifth Sunday Sings in Casey, like they'd switch churches. We started doing those, and that was where, so we would, all right, we're building up to Fifth Sunday, which there's only 4 year.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, all right, we're going to do this song. And so we'd practice, and then it'd be like, boom, so we go. And then some stuff happened at a previous church, and we ended up, so we had that tie here.
Yeah.
But this is the first time Joe and I had ever been like free agents, I guess you could say.
Okay, yeah.
And then, so we wanted to do the let's go check out some churches thing,
Yeah.
which we never done before, you know. So because it's always been like, especially growing up, I just went to my dad's church because my dad's a pastor, so I was like,
Yeah, I was gonna say with your background, your dad being a pastor,
Yeah.
there is no
no, there's no go check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like, did you hear the pastor kids not going here? So,
Yeah.
But we
all the
ended up,
PK kids are right now are cheering on.
I know, they're like, he got to go somewhere else. Yeah. But it was, we checked out some, and they were awesome. But it's also not because of the PK-ness, which I'll shout out to my sisters too. We're not typical PKs.
Yeah.
Like, not really that wild or crazy or anything. Like, I didn't really go to any dances or anything like that. You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's not my thing. But, so it became I don't know, like, what do we want to do? And going to those other churches, like, they were big, which I've been to bigger churches before,
Yeah.
but unless you know somebody, it's really hard to get plugged in.
Definitely.
And so, and not just plugged into like a small group or something, because they were throwing that out like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But plugged in is like serving in somewhere.
Yeah.
And especially, like, I hope people will listen to this and they're like, oh, I can walk up to the worship pastor and be like, hey, can I play? Because absolutely, we'll have a little chat and
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've had that happen. I'm always like, hey, go talk to Pastor Ridge.
That's
Like,
right.
he'll get you hooked up.
So that's kind of like what brought me here. It's like, I already have those ties here.
Yeah.
And let's just go there. And there was so many places to serve here, and it ended up becoming like coming here, just being a participant that was helping out the youth kind of thing, and then becoming the youth pastor and doing that, and then as just the way things worked out and moving a little more contemporary.
Yep.
Like we used to it was like the last Sunday of the month, the praise team would play, which at the time was like college age and high school kids, so they were getting older.
Yeah.
And then it just eventually grew into what it is now, where it was like, you know, some people like they had other commitments that made it hard for them to show up on Sundays and that kind of thing, like work and things like that.
Yeah.
So it just became, we were the worship team. Yeah, and it's like natural ministry. It's changed and grown and moved
definitely.
and I love where God has us now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh,
So
yeah.
So and I can definitely see the vision that God had through all this. And it was one of those things at the time, you know, there were definitely some downs and like rough patches, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how long this is gonna last. And then every time God's like, no, hold on, just be patient.
Yeah, I've
just
got
be,
you. I've got you.
and always has, you know. And so that was awesome to see. So I guess that's what brought me to Moriah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So what's one of the first things that drew you in whenever you first arrived? So let's just say when you first came to help out the youth, what was it that kind of drew you in?
Moriah has always been like this, and I'm repeating what everybody else has said for this question. It's like they actually care about you. Like when you walk in, even back then where, you know, let's say it was 40 people, or when it got up to like, you know, 100, it was like people still, they wanted to come up and talk to you, and they cared about what you're saying, not just like, how's it going? Expecting you to say fine. If you said fine, they're like, oh man, I'm in it now. But
Yeah.
no, they actually want to hear it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's always been an awesome thing about Moriah, and I pray will always be an awesome thing about Moriah.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. So what's your favorite Bible story?
Bible story, it's hard to limit to. So, because I love Daniel, not real relatable because I'm not that pious. I mean, most people could say this, but his commitment, no matter what it was, all the way through it. Which, I mean, I guess that's kind of relatable because I'm a workaholic kind of person. Not as bad as Mike is, but like I definitely, if I'm doing something, I'm doing it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you're definitely committed. We'll say committed.
So and I've always been that way, and it's one of those things like my parents were always in ministry, and they were always like the rock of that ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's something that's moved on to me. It's like one, like I'm always going to be there because that's such a huge thing, and two, it's like it's Daniel. I mean, it really is. Now, if I could get thrown into a lion's den, it's a whole different story. But I think praying through rough times, you know, like that's super relatable.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Now, if it's, well, I mean, we kind of went through that a little with the C word, going through, you know, all that. And it's like, when we had the conversation, like, do we go back to in-service? Do we not? Like, not to date this podcast, but, you know, looking at that. So,
yeah.
Another one that I really love and get a lot out of is Job, which I know is a huge story, but knowing that no matter what, as bad as it can get, God's still always going to be there for you.
Oh yeah, Job to me is one of those like, has a way of humbling. Just because it's like you sit there and think like, oh my goodness, life's so horrible. Yeah. Like I've been so afflicted.
Yeah, we're mad because we got a flat tire and, you know, hit our head in the same day. It's like
exactly. And then Job's like, everything's wiped out. But that's okay, God. Like, you know. But it also shows the humanness of Job.
Yes.
Of going back and forth with prayer with God and that conversation. But yeah, awesome. So what is your favorite verse then?
So pretty much the Romans road. Like Romans is such an awesome book anyways.
Yeah.
Like there's some like big ones in there. So I mean, whatever you want to look up, Romans 3:23, Romans 5:8, like all of them, just because it's a constant reminder of like who God is and what God has done for us.
Yeah.
So not to cop out and take the Christian
version,
but yeah. So
that's okay. I took Genesis 1:1.
Yeah, I know.
I love that. I still love that. Okay, so now we come to the awesome questions. These are what we call the quick seven.
The slick seven.
Slick seven.
Which I was told I can't call them rapid fire anymore because I talk too much during them. So,
okay.
Or, you know, they're more conversational.
Conversational pieces. Okay, favorite candy bar?
Yes.
Yes.
Reese's.
Reese's?
Yeah. Which is weird.
Is that really a candy bar though?
I count it as one. It's in the candy bar section. So,
this is true. This is true.
I guess if I had to, it would be Milky Way. If I had to get an actual bar.
What about Puppy Chow?
Okay, so I used to not be a peanut butter person.
Really?
Forever. Which my mom always used to make fun of me because she's like, you used to eat peanut butter and jelly when you were little. But like, and you can ask my wife for the longest time. Because it was like her and me and her mother-in-law were like solid rock. Like, where you don't like peanut butter.
Yeah.
And Joe and I went on that crazy like keto kind of diet and it changed all my taste buds.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them. And now peanut butter is like the best thing in the world. So
nice. Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi. I was raised on Pepsi.
Yeah.
Hardcore Pepsi.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew. became such a thing, and it's probably my crutch. Code Red specifically.
Yes, I love Code Red.
Which is so bad for you.
It is.
It's like let's take Mountain Dew, which is already really bad for you because sugar content is like, let's add some red dye.
Let's add some red dye.
It's that cherry. And honestly, any Mountain Dew.
So do you like Code Red better in the fountain drink or out of the bottle?
Fountain drink?
Yeah, as long as the carbonation's right. Yeah. That's the kicker.
Oh, yeah. If they don't get it, but that's pop, period.
This is true.
Have you ever got that one where, like, you just want a Pepsi? So you go in and get a Pepsi, and you're drinking, and you're like, whew, this is like sour.
Yes, that is the worst.
Now, when they put too much caramel in, it's never a problem.
Yeah, that's never a problem. So if it wasn't Pepsi or Coke, coffee, is that in the range?
Coffee, yeah. Well, it's just, that's how I have to start my day.
Yeah.
So, coffee with creamer.
Folgers?
No.
I'm trying to get us advertisement right now.
Who could we use? So Joe and I, we have our this is the cheap people here. We have our off-brand Keurig, okay, with our Walmart French vanilla little cake stuff.
Yeah, that's okay. We use Jody does. I don't drink, but she uses reusable cake out.
Yeah.
So we just put Folgers in there.
My wife always makes fun of me because I don't like Folgers, and she's like, it's just coffee, and I'm like, it's so bitter though. Like I would end up mixing like half and half creamer in it, just
Okay, scarier, snake, spider, or a bat?
It has to be a bat.
But you're kind of professional with the bat.
I am, but still, there's just something about it you can't get. They fly, which makes things, and they don't fly like birds.
Yeah,
they move up and down in a way that's unnatural too.
Yeah, and they're so swoop, and it's just like
And previously, I done a lot of mowing, and I ran into so many snakes. Which snakes and weed eaters, it's like a secret weapon. Yeah. I remember I was going around a pond one time, and I bet I killed 10 of them. And it's just like the little holes they'd pop up, and I was just weeding, and I was like, brrr, and I'm like, whoops, sorry guys.
A little Call of Duty action.
Just mow them down.
Spider's not even in the question though.
Well, and you know this. Once you have a daughter, you can't be afraid of spiders.
Because
they're afraid of all of them, and you have to kill them all.
Mountains or oceans?
Mountains.
Mountains.
I like the ocean, and it's pretty, but like, there's so much death inside there. I mean, you're just swimming along, and there's just a jellyfish there. So I went to Galveston, Texas when I was in college. I was in the jazz band, and we were music on the cruise. And we woke up in the morning, we stayed at the hotel and left the next morning, but there were jellyfish all over the beach. And you're like, oh, so there's just always death everywhere. So, not that I'm afraid of those. Like, I'll swim, but mountains.
Yeah, mountains. Morning or night owl?
Night. It has to, like...
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Especially with the youth pastor background.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of a given.
Yeah, well, you have to be able to stay up for 24 hours if you're a youth pastor. Like, because you know there's at least one lock-in. And the times that you are like, I think I got out of the lock-in. There's that one junior high kid, and they don't come up to you and they're like, hey, can we do a lock-in? They're like in some kind of announcement group, you're just sitting talking, and they're like, we have a lock-in. And then everybody's like, lock-in, yeah! Like pitchworks come out.
And everybody wants it like that weekend too. So like, this weekend, that was great.
And you know how this is. So going back into our youth pastorness, you can plan out every detail.
Oh, yeah.
And it fails horribly. And you cannot plan out anything. And it fails horribly. And you're like, what do I do? So I just had eventually just like, all right, here's a list of stuff we're going to do. When people start to be like, we're bored, be like, all right, here we go. And we just go through till they're bored of that, and then they can go do their free time stuff. But
I could always, like, the beginning, me and you're similar. We always did, like, the citywide scavenger hunt. And that always went well. But then there's, like, that lull of time where, like you said, it doesn't matter what you do, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Like, this is dumb. I hate this. 2 hours later, this is the best thing in the world.
Well, and especially when you have lock-ins, you never have just your youth kids. There's always another 30 extra, and you're like, I don't know any of you, and I don't know how you. And so you do like this one game where you sit down, and then all the junior high boys are like, "Are you kidding me? This is so boring." And all the like high school girls are like, "Can we do this the rest of the night?" And you're like, "No,
no, this is not." Favorite season?
Fall.
I don't think that. Has anyone else said anything besides fall?
I mean, optional spring.
Yeah,
Up until allergies hit, which I guess I like winter.
Yeah, I don't mind winter, but
in Illinois it just gets so cold.
Yeah, and I have fall, so it's like you get a little winterish feel because of everything.
Let's go late fall, where it's you never have to worry about being like, oh, I need to find my shorts again.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I will give you that because like this last week again, I did the podcast, but it's like it was like 50s.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden last week it was 80s.
Yeah. 85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last night I walked into my bedroom and Jody had the air conditioner on. And I'm like, hey, it's like negative 15 in here.
Bryson cranked his up last night, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I was like, ugh. Yeah. Okay. Favorite pizza topping. Now you always tell everyone you can go as controversial as you want.
I'm not going controversial. I just like pizza.
Yeah.
So, going back to the youth pastor thing, like I will literally eat basically any pizza. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Do I want an anchovy pizza? No, but I would probably power through it because you hit the point where it's like, as a youth pastor, there's only one pizza left. Why did we order anchovy? I don't know. Some junior high kid dared me to or something. And it's the only one left. And I would probably
power through it. Really?
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't even know if I could. I think I'd have to I don't even know if I scraped everything off of it. If I could.
Because you put it up there and you have that little bit of fish smell.
Yeah, that little waft of fish smell would just like, ugh.
And what I would do is I'd definitely trick myself and be like, just channel your internal Ninja Turtle. Like, this is what they would eat. Anchovy and pizza, or anchovy and pepperoni, just like,
Ugh. Yeah, awesome. Well, man, thank you so much for sending out this today, Pastor Ridge. Appreciate everything that you're doing, man. And stay tuned for more Behind Moriah.
All right.
See you guys.
See you.